Hey everyone, Spicy Toast Gaming here. Hope you're having a great day. Hope this video can make it a little bit better for you. This is actually going to be a clip from one of my live streams. If you want a link to my Twitch channel to see me playing any of this live, or a link to the main channel, both will be in the description down below. If you enjoy the video, a like and subscribe is always appreciated, and let's get into it. All right, next up, we're going to play Nautilus, kind of just because I've been wanting to play Nautilus again. Since we did like his guide a little while ago, I don't really know if I've played him almost at all. So yeah, I kind of want to see, or kind of want to hop on and play him again. Maybe we'll just, yeah, go for Treasures, Beast, and Portal Pals. I think it's pretty solid. And you know what? I think let's do Nautilus against Nautilus. Sure, that can be fun. What do you think if Ari with Nasus signature creates Nasus and plays him? Would he strike twice? Probably not. Because, yeah, I'm not sure. That would be interesting to see. He does strike twice. I checked that with Aurelian. Okay, cool. Yeah, that would be interesting. Alright, Yorgens have evolved, Feral Senses, Officer Backup. I kind of need to remember the synergies for Nautilus even. This always happens when it's been like a while since I've played a champion. First time you draw a card, yeah, we want to be drawing more. I think let's try to do a reroll. Sure, let's go for Mana Flow, that can be good. And let's go for Crackshot Corsair. We normally don't need the draw effects too much at the start. Yeah, I think we can get rid of, well, sure. So we could just immediately open with Nasus. I think we'll probably hold off, though. Let's actually get some tossing down first. Because you don't really want to toss after your Nautilus is hitting the board.
Don't stand in my way.
Sure, we can go ahead and attack like this. Alright, so we can drop this one right here. And sure, now we can drop our Nautilus. Alright, fantastic. Play, manifest 2 different elemental spells you play this game. Yeah, we'll just drop that one right there. Ah, GG. Oh. Yeah, Nautilus, he's an interesting one, but pretty fun to hop on every once in a while. Mordekaiser. One issue is since this wouldn't be our support champion, it's not getting that deep on it. Grow allies' power and health the number of times you played other spells this game. Probably not going to happen. Like, we're not going to have a lot of spells, so this wouldn't be that good. I think let's do one reroll here. Keeps giving us champions. Like, we'd love these as support champions, but without the deep, they're not as good. Let's go for the Justice Rider. That one's at least deep. Alright, so Lucian. He is solid. Nico, she would like all the subtypes. Udyr. I think Lucian could be fun. think it's fine having a cheap champion, I believe. Yeah, let's go for Lucian. I need to go watch my own guide, all the stuff for Nautilus. Let's go for Devourer. Lucian is just one of those champions that's pretty much always good to have. This is actually a pretty awesome opening hand. And yeah, again, we could just go in for turn 1 Nautilus, but we wouldn't level already. So let's try to toss some first. Sure, let's go for a beast. And get their weakest unit double to the foe's strongest. So yeah, they're not going to get their elusive, but that unit will be really big, but honestly, that's fine. All right, now we can drop our Nautilus. All right, we won't get the tentacle, but that can be okay. Sure, we won't get the plunder damage down, but we can drop this here. So let's go ahead and attack like this. They'll probably block with this unit, but we can go ahead and Riptide it. So that blocker is just off the board. And GG. All right, perfect. Yeah, I wonder if they're going to start incorporating old events in the off-season. I know that's something they mentioned that they would do, but that'll be interesting to see. Plunder the reduce the cost of allies in hand by 2. Vicious Plateworm is pretty awesome. And yeah, we don't really have a great way to do plunder damage generally, but getting more sea monsters like this is always a good time. Strike, draw 1. When I'm summoned, draw 1. Sure, we can go for a draw with Nautilus, so that way if we have more cards, he'll toss just a little bit harder. That can be okay. The strike, though, sometimes you don't want that when you're already deep. Let's see for a shop here. Sure, we grab Power Overwhelming. Thalassophobia would have been better as far as doing the Bilgewater theme, but Chamber is stronger for us, so we'll head up here. Can't follow any of these retcons anymore. Pike was betrayed too, at the very least, but he haunts the city, not ships. Okay, if they both were betrayed by their crew, then that just makes it more confusing for me. Because yeah, I was like, I thought Nautilus was betrayed by his crew, and so he's hunting down people that like betrayed him, but also any ships that don't pay the tithe. It was like, I thought, yeah, Pike was also betrayed, and he's also hunting down his own old crew. Yeah, I'm not even 100% sure. Sure, this is fine. We could have re-rolled Devourer, but this can be okay. We could just drop him immediately. That would get a bunch of toss going. I think we're fine. We can drop Lure. I think we'll open with Grumble Slug. I didn't want to drop Lucian and have him immediately get hit. We can drop Lucian here. All right, so another stun, great. 8 damage to a unit, sure. All right, we'll go ahead and pass for now. All right, now let's drop our Nautilus. We don't really like any of these units dying, but I suppose them dying does help level up our Lucian. We're at 18 cards, so we're close. All right, so we'll go ahead and attack like this.
Trust me.
All right, we could use a Riptide, but it's actually not even needed. We're already scaled up enough to end. GG. I love playing Nautilus with his huge units. Yeah, it's pretty great. And for me, I also really like Nautilus because he was one of the champions I played a lot in League. I would sometimes do support, but normally I would do jungle Nautilus, and it was a pretty good time. Like, at that time, he literally had the most CC in the entire game. And so, as long as you had decent laners, you could lock people down for so long when you ganked. It was fantastic. Round start, toss one. If you're deep, destroy me, summon a random sea monster. Sea monster, Alex and Fearsome. I think I want to go for this one, but honestly, both these could be decent. Not was my first League champ. I was so bad back then. Like, one of the first champs I ever bought was, like, bought and tried to get good with was Kassadin, and then I kind of transitioned that into Fizz later on. Yeah, I was always a solo midder top, generally, when I was trying to do ranked. And then if I had to go jungle, I would play Kindred or Nautilus. What do we want to get rid of? What card are we just never needing to play, really? Honestly, Radiant Strike is just not doing enough. Let's go for Darius.
Every army needs a general.
Yeah, the first person I hit gold with was Renekton top, which was pretty good. Let's get rid of the hired gun. Let's also get another one we could cut. And yeah, sadly she's not a sea monster, even though she's a 4 cost. Went from not Set, Darius, Tryndamere. Right now I just play whatever I feel like, with a preference for Set, Ornn, and Victor. See, Ornn came right when I was stopping playing, which it made me feel a little bit bad because I saw him. I was like, oh man, he looks awesome. I love his aesthetic, but at that point I just kind of stopped playing League. Let's go for salvage. Could go for a lure, but I think let's go for dredgers here. Ooh, that rally's gonna hurt. Yeah, that's fine. That is a lot of damage. Not quite enough to kill him. Let's drop a lure. And sure, let's drop our Nautilus. Oh boy, the Dreadway. Let's go for a Devourer and just kill their Darius. Or I guess obliterate. Alright, I think we'll pass for now. Let's drop the Dreadway right here. And then this will be a ridiculous amount of damage. Alright. GG. I read Not Bio. Essentially, he was betrayed. He wasn't betrayed, but he thinks he is. Okay. He was a salvage diver who always asked to toss some coin at the sea for good luck. Someday a new captain brought his ship, refused to pay the tithe while searching some primordial shipwreck. Not's chain was broken when he was trying to leave it. Okay. Yeah, I was like, I know there's a big thing about the tithe of like having to do that. And it's like, yeah, I thought he was betrayed, or so he thinks he was betrayed. Okay. I hope they update Ornn next patch, but unlikely. Back-to-back Freljord champs. I mean, it's possible. I mean, for one, we know what they are doing next patch. They said it's Targon and Demacia. But they're doing Targon, like, almost back to back. Because like they just did Kale like 2 patches ago, was that? Like relatively recently. So they could do Freljord again pretty soon. Let's go ahead and go for Barrier. Nautilus is going to be pretty much impossible to get off the board the first round he's played. Your units have Evolve. I mean, we have a decent amount of keywords, but I don't know if it's quite enough. I think let's try to get something a little bit better. Enemies have -1, Pyromania, Explosive Entrance. I think we just go for Disarmed. Let's see, Solitary Monk, Slot Bot. Let's go ahead and cut a card. Let's go for Reckoner. Since Morgana is Targon Demacia, there might be adding Morgana Illuminated and Morgana Darkened. I mean, it is April, so maybe I'll be their April 1st prank. Let's get rid of Heavy Metal. Again, let's toss early. Jesse is cute. Welcome. Thank you for the raid. Hope you guys are doing all right. Let's drop our lure. We're just chilling and playing up some Nautilus right now. Haven't really played him since the guide. All right, so we won't quite be able to level, but we are pretty close. I think let's drop this just to have another blocker. We could go for the rally, but that'd probably be better later. This is going to give us a blocker and get rid of one of their units. Sure. They're about to open attack, so we played this. Oh, they're not going to attack. All right, that's fine with us. All right, let's go for this. Drawing a card will have us hit deep. So now we can attack and rally if we need to. Or just do that. GG. Oh. I do wonder if they're going to do more of the, like, Lux Illuminated. That sort of thing. I, like, kind of doubt it, but I do like that we know they can do that if they want to. Because that is pretty good. Reducing Nautilus's cost is not good. Especially the Ephemeral, so that's actually just all around bad for us. I don't really care about the Heavy Metal. When someone creates a sea monster in hand, that's pretty good. I hope not, because I want to see all the champions. Yeah, that's the thing. It's like, I don't think they're going to do it definitely often or potentially again for a very long time. But I like that it pretty much guarantees, like, oh, they're not ever going to run out of champions when they can just release another version of an existing one. So at least there's that. Let's get rid of the hired gun. It's not really doing enough for us. Let's go for the shop here. Some of these are fine. Mountains Peak. Do we want to go for it? Let's actually leave and see. All right, so we don't have another shop. This is the last one. I think let's do a reroll. Sure. Well, this is good and bad. So it gives us extra draw, so it gives us toss. But then it also puts cards back in our deck. I think overall it's a net positive, but it is a little bit mixed. Yeah, I think we're okay. Let's go for Reckoner. I don't see any remastered champs now that the game has no funding. I mean, the game is funding from all the bundles. I mean, I think with Cast Pre and After Void, or someone with a big change like that for sure. Hope they don't do it otherwise. I mean, I hope we're getting a patch where it's just like, or a Void-themed event where all the champions coming out are Void-themed. I think that'd be awesome. And we haven't, like, our only Void champion, I think, is Rek'Sai. I think. So hopefully. Oh, right, Kaisa. Yeah, Kaisa. Likely just going to keep doing arcane-related characters that make new ones. I mean, they've kind of already done all the arcane characters. There's not really anyone else to do that's as far as a character from the game. And they've been staying away from Piltover since they already filled that region with so many. Let's get rid of Senna. And I think even the Devourer wants some other things in our opening hand. Maybe they'll add Cho as new formidable champ. I kind of would doubt it. I think the next one is Mel. Mel's not next because, well, she is Noxus and P and Z, and they said the next two champions are Demacia and Targon. Yes, the next new champion is Mel, and I feel like she's the only champion that's not in the game that's from the show. Like, pretty much everyone else they have. Yeah, I'm trying to think through the cast. As far as characters that exist as champions, I feel like Mel's the only one. Orianna wasn't really in the show. And Singed isn't in the game. Like, Singed isn't a champion that's in Path of Champions. So, I guess if you're talking just about new champions only, I was kind of thinking of champions that are being brought in that existing from, like, PvP. Do we want to go for Nautilus right away? Let's go for the salvage. And we can drop a lure.
You earn the right to call themselves Trifarian.
So they would be able to kill this unit. But yeah, we can get some damage down. Actually, I don't really want to attack with that one. So I want to make sure this one dies.
Let's make this a night to remember.
I would like to see some Draven action. Draven would be pretty fun. Alright, dropping Nautilus would have us hit deep.
The water rises.
That's a very large unit. Yeah, we don't have our plunder effect. Sure, let's try to drop this one.
When I say it. Show some respect.
Sure, we can get that off the board, so they won't have a blocker next round. And we can open attack, and that should be game. Alright, GG. I was talking about all new champions on the game. For the next new champion, you're definitely right with it being Mel, or highly likely for it to be Mel. I think in their recent dev blog, they said they were going to get, like, one of them that's brand new to the game. I don't necessarily think Singed or Orianna would be high on the list at all, especially since, like, Orianna was barely in the show, and then while Singed was there, he wasn't really ever being his champion necessarily. Like, he was just being a crazy mad scientist, but you never actually saw him, like, running around with his gas messing with people, essentially. So I kind of doubt they're going to add either of them. If we're talking about the two new ones, Targon and Demacia, I think it's Fiora and Zoe. I'm not sure if the two champions are going to be from PvP, though. I think they said, like, two new, but they also said that with this last month, and they had to correct, be like, oh, we meant one from PvP and one of the existing champions getting updated. They've been doing that for a while, so I think there's a decent chance that it's going to be one existing and one not. So I would kind of doubt Fiora and Zoe personally. Let's see. Titanify is not going to do anything here. This would give us double draw. Summon a random dragon of my base cost or less. Sure, that could be a little silly. Let's go for champion item. Shadow Totem actually is really, really good, because that let us toss twice. We could probably just drop him right away. How many cards do we have? 42. Most things are pretty good. Yeah, we don't really need to heal. We can get rid of Senna, and let's go for Nautilus.
They will know my name.
Riot failed to capture the essence of Singed and Arcane by not showing him throwing people into glue enough. I mean, yeah. I think Garen has a pretty high likelihood. I would not be surprised to see Garen at all next month. Let's get rid of the hunters, and we can hold on to the rest. All right, let's go ahead and drop our Nautilus. So yeah, turn one deep. Let's fill out our board.
Don't get in my way. Forward. Drag them down.
All right, they can't even block. GG. Do we have Aphelios? Maybe that guy? Possibly. Like, he's one of the PvP champions that's not in the current roster. Today we're just doing Path Champions. There wasn't any variety games I really felt overly compelled for today. That was pretty fun. Nice to hop on and be able to play Nautilus again. Been a little while. Haven't really played him since the guide, but always a good time. Thank you for watching that video, especially all the way to the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you have a great rest of your day.